Welcome to Buff Zone. We are here with Lauren Huggins of the women's basketball team. And Lauren, thanks for joining us first off.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we want to talk real quick about last week's game, LMU. You guys get a nice win to open up the season. You had a nice game. So how much fun was that game for you guys?
It was a lot of fun. It was nice to get out. The crowd was great. We had a really fun environment, and we got to work through a bunch of rotations, have different people out on the floor, and so just getting to play with everyone was really fun.
When you went back and looked at it, what did you guys really like that you did in that game?
I thought we were patient on offense. We weren't forcing shots. We were taking what their defense gave us, and then we played really good transition defense as well as transition offense. So our running game is good.
Biggest thing you guys were disappointed in from that game?
We got out-rebounded. We emphasized a lot on defense and rebounding, and they out-rebounded us in total by 1. And so that was something I know that Coach Lappy and all of us really took to heart.
Even that 1 just makes a difference, right? You guys like to have that bigger number no matter what it is, right?
Yep. It's always nice to have a bigger number, especially with rebounding.
Yeah. So this week you got 2 games, your first 2-game week of the season, and you start with UNC at home on Thursday night. So talk about that game real quick. It's an in-state game, obviously. Lots of kids that you probably know a little bit, but tell me about that game.
It's going to be really fun. It's going to be a hard game, like you were alluding to. A lot of those kids were Colorado natives, and they would love to have worn a Colorado jersey, and so it's going to be a tough, gritty game, but we also just want to play our basketball and show that we're the best in the state.
Yeah, they're coming off of I think the best season in their school history, so you're probably going to get a pretty good team.
Yeah, we're excited. We've had a really good week of practice, just preparing, working on our game as well as a little bit of what we're going to see tomorrow night, so it should be good.
After that, you go to Kentucky on Sunday, and they're one of the top teams in the country, probably one of the marquee non-conference game of the year.
Yeah.
Do you guys have to be careful not to look past UNC and to Kentucky?
Definitely. I mean, that's one of the big things on our schedule is Kentucky, and they're nationally ranked right now, but it's also important not to overlook because we have a game tomorrow. It's not Sunday yet, and so we need to be focused for UNC, but then we can also take learning points from that game to help us when we go to Kentucky.
I know you guys need to take one game at a time, but because of that game, because it's a big one, do you feel like that is a big one for you guys to have an opportunity to prove yourselves and really measure yourself against one of the better teams in the country?
Oh yeah, it's just like my freshman year and sophomore year when we got to play Louisville. It's always a good test, and if we can go in and get a road W first and foremost, plus against a ranked team, I think it will put us out on the map like we want to be, and it'll be a good launch into the rest of our preseason.
Awesome. Well, should be a fun week for women's basketball. Look forward to seeing you again next week.